Hi, welcome to the Entertainment Economy with Derrick Lewis. Today, we're going to go backstage. Our guest today is Gabby Lejan, a backstage titan, a young, dynamic woman in the industry. We're going to be talking about what happens backstage, how do you get to jobs backstage, what are the protocols, what are the best practices, and some of the greatest experiences in a career backstage. I am delighted to be here today with Gabby, stage manager, production manager, and we'll find out.
Oh, me? Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Gabby LG. So yes, I am a production and stage manager, but I also do other things. So I have my own company, which we do full-scale production, which is LG Stage Management. But I also do curriculum design for the creative industries through Precision with my best friend Casey.
Okay.
So I work in that capacity, and I'm also an educator. So I'm really big on upskilling and reskilling people in general, but specifically in the creative industries to get them involved.
Okay, so make that bridge. Teacher first, production manager first, educator first, educational strategist first. Where did it start?
I would say it started like as a performer. Like I started off in the arts,
Yeah.
and then I want to say I tend to be somebody who gets bored really quickly. So I tend to do a task or pursue some sort of a career, and
Yeah.
then I feel as though I learn everything or I max out in terms of what can be learned in a particular company, in a particular field, and then I tend to move on. So I would have been in the arts from a very young age. I played piano and drums for a very long time, since I was
Okay.
6. And then I went into theater. I was acting for a bit, and I'm talking as a teenager when I was in SJC in San Fernando. And then I fell in love with the stage, and then behind the stage.
Okay, give me that moment. That moment that you fell in love.
So what I realized was I loved being in the arts, but I hated being on stage. Hated. I hated performing in front of a live crowd. I just did not like it. But then I realized that there was so much more to the arts and the being a creative and being in the creative industries than being a singer, being a musician,
Right.
being an actress. There are so many things that contribute to what this final product or this production is, and that's why I fell in love with behind the stage, where I realized that that's the real engine room, that's the powerhouse. Without these things, you can't see yourself, you can't hear yourself,
Yeah.
anything, right? Like we make it go, we make it happen. And yeah, and I mean, I was doing that on the side because everybody's telling you, nah, you can't do this as a full-time career, you'll
Right.
starve. So I went to university. I did my degree in theater and lit. I did my master's in cultural studies. And then I said, you know what? How to get work? Because this can't pay the bills. Yeah, and I was in marketing and corp for a few years. I was an internal auditor. I was an ISO auditor for a while. And then I went on to teach at a private school where I was teaching English language, lit, and theater. And I honed all of those skills. I put it together and decided, hey, I'm going to start a production and stage management company with my theater skills, with my auditing and documentation abilities from being an auditor, with my experience in marketing, and then with my postgraduate diploma in education, and being really, like, I'm very passionate about designing things specifically for certain people.
Right.
Where I like to make things. It's not one size fits all.
Yeah.
So I'm really into curriculum design and that sort of thing. And I was just like,
To what?
curriculum design.
Oh, curriculum design.
Yeah. So I like to make things specific to people. And that's when I realized, as an industry, we have people who are practitioners who may not have gone to school to learn it, but you learn it on the field or whatever. Or we have people who doing one thing, but they want to
Right. So
upskill.
you make that you bring that into structure and create curriculum based on what actually it's coming from needs that you see.
from like a gap analysis. So it's like, hey,
yeah.
you would see, all right. So like governments would reach out to us and they would say, hey, we want to upskill our music producers. We want them to learn what is the newest technology, newest software, whatever. And
Yeah. So we're talking about careers, and I wanted to. This gives me an opportunity to talk about careers in the entertainment economy. This career evolved, but who would have thought that, going in that direction would have brought you to be able to understand the stage, understand the needs, see a gap, create a gap analysis, then fill that gap with content, nurturing, teaching from a position of understanding the core physical and mental needs of the industry. That's crazy. But let me tell you something now. It's a little mix between like being in charge, puppet master, and living vicariously through your performing self. Like you are making them perform. So you are living you continue this.
I mean, for me, it was about wanting to see our full potential as a creative space. Knowing that we have the ability to be the best, and knowing that all it takes is a little something extra. It might be a course, it might be a something, right? And I think working in the field and then having the experience on the performance side.
Right.
So I am you might say in certain cases, I am the puppet master. But it allows me to, I am involved, but also allows me an outsider perspective where sometimes I get to sit back and I get to watch things unfold.
Right.
Which allows me to do a gap analysis a lot easier because I will be on stage and I am noticing all the other things that are going wrong and what need to fix and what need to whatever. And then I'm also the kind of person who, like, people like to talk to me. Like, they'll come to me.
Right.
So they tend to be their real organic, like, authentic selves.
So artists?
Yeah.
Big ones?
Yeah.
So you're like a hairdresser then?
Yeah, it's like, I'm like a barbershop. So you come and you sit down and then you just start to talk.
Yeah.
I mean, the beauty of me is I don't remember.
So let me read this. She don't. Wait, focus on this.
My jersey says, it has a mango on it, sorry. Your secrets are safe with me because there is a good chance I wasn't listening. No.
So their secrets, the artist's secrets are safe with you.
Yeah, because I just don't remember. Like,
tell me something you didn't remember now.
It's like I'm 34 years old, right? And a lot of people think I look younger than I am, but they say that I sound older than I am when they hear the wealth of experience. I mean, I guess I don't see it like that. I mean, I just get fed up. I just learn, and then I just be like, there's nothing else that I feel I could learn here in this position or in this company or whatever. Right. I need to go somewhere else.
Right.
I have absolutely no issue pivoting and changing.
So let's talk about a career. So you have a career in the arts, so to speak. Stage management. You're also, you tell me. You're a stage manager.
Production manager.
Technical
coordination. Artist liaison and coordination. I do curriculum design for the creative industries. I'm a program coordinator. I just do real. Wait, boy, like as I sit down here and start to list it out, I just do real things.
Yeah. I know for those listening, thinking about careers, she called about 4 or 5 distinct tasks that can be taken up by anyone diving deeper into it and actually coming out with a golden nugget.
Yeah.
Something like writing script,
Yeah.
you know?
And I was a literature teacher, so I was a teacher. So I also, so apart from designing curriculum, it also helps in my ability to deal with people in the industry, you know, children,
The big children?
the big children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, okay, so just a couple days ago, and talking about artists then, you had the job of treating with or being the liaison with a big international artist. How does that work? I mean, how do you bring your skills and your backstage skills now into an area where you are treating with an international artist to their needs, their schedule, and all that they need to do? What did you call on for that?
I mean, there was a lot of organization. So I was the liaison for Jarul when he came down for the R&B brunch. And I would have assisted the team with, you know, getting his stuff sorted out at the airport when he had to come in through, you know, they get like special, like VIP access to, you know, not have to like necessarily line up on those things. And then it was really just being able, you see, as a stage manager, you always have to be ready to pivot. You have to be able to look at a situation and say, hey, this is what the plan was. This plan going to shit. So now we need to do something else.
Right.
And you see, when you're working with artists, you're working, remember, they're people. I will have to remind people, artists are human before they are anything else.
Yeah.
They are people. They feel things that we feel. You know, sometimes we wake up and we have a bad fucking day and we be like, I just don't want to do anything. And if you wake up in that mood and somebody come, I can get a picture, you know your course. So I'm saying, when he got to Trinidad, it was like, okay, I'm anticipating, yes, there was a schedule for him to do this and do that and whatever. But the man tired too. He just come off a flight, whatever. So it was like, okay, what do you want to do? I know we had to go to the station, but you want to pass by the hotel? Yeah, like I want to go by the hotel, drop off my bags, maybe freshen up a little bit. Okay, cool. So then you call the radio station, you push the time back. Thing. When we were leaving Scotch Radio, he passed, we were going down the escalator. He's like, hey, yo, IMAX. He's like, I didn't get to see Michael yet. He's like, Gabby, could you organize for me to go see Michael? And I was like, sure. We went into IMAX. Like, I want to rent a private cinema for him. He's like, we didn't have any showings. So I was like, cool, go movie town. So again, now it's the networking. It's the building relationships. I think people underestimate in our industry too. So everything ties in. Your ability to deal with people, being able to see the need for a change, for a pivot, and being able to just go with it. Because, I mean, if I was hard and fast and say, nah, this is the schedule, stick to the fucking schedule. Like, this is what you have to do.
Right.
That will rub the artist the wrong way. And I always tell people, and if we come back to this, everything trickles down to the stage. How you treat an artist, how you treat with suppliers, how you deal with people, everything you see on stage. So if he came in and started to have a bad experience from the jump,
Right.
it would have impacted his performance. So it's about, yes, keeping the artist happy, of course, being reasonable and being like real with them, like this is what could actually happen.
Right. But you're making the show.
Ma-
You're actually
yeah.
an integral
In
part.
taking care of the artist, you're taking care of the show. A happy artist, it's a good show.
I got you.
Trust me, if you pay a man before he do the job, that job will be 5 times better, right? Because most times when people feel comfortable, sometimes, you know, especially in the industry where you don't always get paid on time, right? When you get paid up front, men does come out with a different energy to perform. It's just a matter of being happy and being comfortable.
Okay.
And but with him, it was like, okay, cool. You want to go watch a movie? Organize a private theater for him. We went and we watched Michael. We went to town.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we went and we watched Michael. I see Movie Town posted up on their story, on their post. He came and he was like, yo, this movie was amazing. And they took really good care of him. And he felt at home, which is something he said. He's like, yo, like, I love Trinidad. And his wife has Trinidadian roots. And then we went and we had dinner. He was great. The next morning, we got up very early. He wanted to play golf. So me, Hoppy, Daru, Lara, all of us went up and we played golf. And he had a nice, relaxing day. He didn't get to eat roti. Get roti from by Santa Cruz, by the roti cafe.
Right.
Get to try lobster roti, or we ordered a bunch of roti and thing. And
Yeah, they're paying for that.
I get some free roti. And then the Saturday morning, we got up. We left the bricks at 7 a.m. to go play golf because Jarul likes to play golf. So we went and we picked up Lara, me, Lara, Hoppy, Jarul, his team.
Wait. You, Brian Lara, Hoppy, Quissy,
Yeah.
Jarul,
Yeah.
and who else?
And like his team, like his manager, his like we all, and like some of the media team from Scotch, we went up the road and this is my first time on a golf course, by the way.
Okay. Who's the better golfer?
Honestly, Lara.
So who was second best? Okay, so then who was second best?
T, which would have been Jarul's road manager. And then Jarul, and well, unfortunately, Quissy, I know you're going to see this, Quissy.
We help a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was, again, first time I've ever been on a golf course. And to think, first time on a golf course, and this is what I hear what? So we played. I didn't know that golf was 18 holes. That's crazy. That hot sun was dread. But we spent about 5 hours, playing golf. It was interesting. And we went back up and we were sitting down just lying by the clubhouse, eating roti.
Right.
And it was just a vibe.
So for someone wanting to be in that particular area in a career, what would you tell them? What would you say? I mean, you're there with Jarul, you're there with Brian Lara. How do you prepare someone for it? And what would you give them as a few points of reference?
I would say always remember that first thing, the artists, they are people too, and you have to treat them as such. You have to remember that they are human, that they get tired, that they need to eat, that they are not robots. So you have to always maintain that sense of humanity, and they appreciate that. Also, be very real with them. Remember, these are artists who deal with fake people and fakery a lot. They deal with a lot of fans and people who always have them up on this pedestal and want things from them. In your position, it's for you to make them feel comfortable. It's for you to make them feel at home. It's for you to make them feel like they could breathe around you. You want to keep them in that very curated space of of a nice, calm nervous system. So you try to keep your energy low, keep everything light and breezy. You try not to make anything a problem. Yes, sometimes artists may come with ridiculous requests, but there are ways to disappoint people. And you can tell people no. No is my favorite word. I love to tell people no. In my line of work as a stage manager, no is a word I use often. So sometimes it's not really what you're telling them, but how you're telling them it. And it's really just, again, it's just being authentic, being real with them. They don't get to experience that often. And the more authentic and yourself you are with them, it's actually the more pleasant they are. Like, listen, Jarul was probably one of the coolest international artists that I've ever had the pleasure of being around in such a close capacity.
Right.
And this man is just chilling. We went to the radio station, he eating chow, just tasting the air he want to try. He eating this chow from, he didn't know where the chow come from. But he just felt so safe and just so comfortable with the people I was moving with him.
It's a Trini thing too, to a certain extent. So
yeah, it's a warmth, it's a hospitality.
Do you see, I mean, we in Trinidad are very much advanced as far as a lot of this stage management experience that is, right? You have a degree in?
My degree is in literature and theater. My master's is in cultural studies. And my postgraduate diploma is in education, all from the University of the West Indies. Shameless plug. Yeah?
There you go, girl. Yeah, we are culturally inclined to make people comfortable. And we're culturally inclined to make people feel like how she made them feel.
But then the thing too is, I think naturally as a people, yes, we are. But we are, I might get shot for this. But I think we are also people very concerned about how we look. It's an image thing. And people also really people like attention. I've learned that over the last couple of years, that people like to be seen. People like to be admired. People like to be noticed. People like to be seen in certain spaces. I am not one of those people. I literally look like this all the time. I would sometimes go do a show and leave, and you wouldn't even know I was there.
Yeah. Producers wear black.
Yeah, it's a uniform. And my thing is, yes, as a people, we are warm and we are friendly, but I think we also like to be in the spotlight. We like to be seen. And when you are in this kind of position, it's not about you. And it is a very selfish job that is not rewarding when it comes to if that is what you're into. If you're into being seen, if you are into the spotlight,
Right.
we make sure there's a spotlight. We don't get to stand in it.
Got you.
So, and that's the thing. We have to realize that that is our role and function. I always tell people when I came into this career, because people always ask me, like, what was your dream? What about this career makes you feel fulfilled? Because you were a teacher and an educator. At a point, I was a diplomat in IDB in DC. It's not like I haven't done things in my life.
A diplomat at the IDB
In Washington,
DC.
for a while, yeah. And that's probably like in my early 20s. But what I said was...
You're not in your early 20s now?
No, I am very much in my mid-30s. So what I realized was that what brought me joy was not in being seen, but in helping others feel seen. And in making the dreams making the dreams of others come to life. That brought me fulfillment. Somebody coming to me with an idea, with a concept. Gabby, this is the line I hear every day. Gabby, I have an idea for a show. Gabby, I have an idea for a song. Gabby, I have an idea for a music video.
Right.
Gabby, I have an idea for a workshop. Gabby, I have an idea. But people come to me with an idea that I bring to life.
Right.
And in me watching that unfold, that brings me joy.
Satisfaction, yeah.
And I say, when you're on the back end, like us in production, if it's ever about you, you're in it for the wrong reason.
Certainly agree.
You're in it for the wrong reason. We don't get seen. You might see our names rolling in our credit, maybe. If you watch till the end of a music video, if you watch till the end of a movie, you might see our name.
Yeah.
But everybody's get up and leave before, when they put the lights in the cinema, they don't see us. They don't know us.
Yeah, we wear black.
We wear black and we are, or without us, there's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to change the story. I tell my staff, my team, stage team, I'm not a stage manager, but I'm an event producer. So people who are doing stage management, I had told a group once, you must wear black, all black, right? And they did. But one person had to go across the stage with their black and move furnishings. And would you believe they had on fluorescent underwear? Green. And he was moving and he's all black. And I told him wear black. So now, he's moving across the stage. You see this underwear moving across the stage at Napa. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's tight. Trying to figure out how you see it.
But guys wear their pants low and then the shirt's kind of small. The shirt's kind of small and they bend to lift and moving stuff.
It's a shared dress here. I don't know. You see
No, you could have seen that, but you just saw this,
Yeah.
Anyway, so I tell them wear all black and I now go to the next level.
Yeah, my thing is black underwear, black clothes, black toe shoes.
Yeah.
Because I've had interns. I mean, maybe it was, and again, I'm a continuous learner. I always say the day I feel like I know everything, that's it, right? The only way to keep growing is to keep learning. So I have acknowledged that a long time ago. So in the earlies when I was bringing on interns, I would give some instructions. Like I might say wear black. But I wouldn't be specific. Hey, make sure it's not see-through. Make sure that your underwear is fully concealed. At time I didn't tell an intern that you had to wear toe shoes, and I'm coming in heels. I mean, I could be a bit. I will lie. I could be a bit of a. Ass is not a word, you know.
Yeah.
But I just taped the foot with black gaff tape, and I made it hold those shoes.
Oh, you tape the toes
Like I just kind
with
of
black tape.
just kind of wrap the foot.
Now, folks, that's innovation. That is really thinking on the spot.
But I learned that, hey, Gabby, you have to be very clear when you're communicating to people. You have to let them know, yo, if you want this result, you have to give them the proper, clear, concise instruction. When I started, so I've been in theater for quite some time, right? But I would say I've been very active in the soca industry, maybe like, when COVID finished, when COVID ended?
22 in the world, 23 in Trinidad.
So 22, let's say 22 is when I really came into the soca industry. So more soca, reggae, more live event or concert as opposed to theater. And even into the music video space. I started to realize, like, okay, what is the most effective way to communicate? I started off by sending these long ass messages. Hey, this is Gabby, la 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 la, and this is da 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 da. Until I realized you had to be open to learning, and I realized people was missing information because it was just too much words. So I started doing it in point form.
Right.
Call time, bam. Venue, bam. Parking information, bam. Ting, ting, ting. At the end, I would say, please send me your license plate and the number of people in your entourage, because then I will then now consolidate the list for Backstage. So I started realizing over time, apart from the fact that people will read, is that you had to meet people where they are.
Yeah, brief. Yeah.
You have to meet people where they are. And it's people who have, just the same way how I am tired because I got an hour and a half sleep last night, is that people are also tired. Everybody in our industry, if you ask anybody, hey boy, how you going? But I'm real tired, you know.
Yeah.
I am tired, I am overwhelmed, I am exhausted. And this is not me celebrating burnout culture in any way. This is me saying that sometimes there's such a need for us in the industry that we are called to go above and beyond to meet the needs of what this industry calls us to do.
And that's why, I want to encourage young people looking at this, and even people who want to change their careers, that there are real opportunities in here. And I'm sure you need help. And I'm sure that, other teachers, other people who may be thinking about their careers might want to move in a different direction. Do you have any advice for people wanting to come into this area?
Well, one, there's no age limit. Like, you could decide at 20, at 30, at 40, at 50. You could always pivot. Pivoting in your career is something you could do at any stage. I would say, if anybody wants to come into this industry, well, one, your back had to be real broad. Like, that's a must. But I would say, more importantly, specifically as a stage manager, as a production manager, somebody who deals with technical and logistics, you have to be able to say no. You can't be a yes man. Because sometimes your no is what decides the make or break of a production. You have to make the final call. I've had to tell artists, no, you cannot go on stage. No, you cannot do this. No, you cannot do that. You have to be very comfortable making high pressure decision at split seconds.
Yeah. Or you have to come off the stage.
Yeah. Sometimes you will be in a situation where you have to say, okay, this is now unfolding in front of me. This is not planned, but I am now in an environment where, okay, I have a decision to make. I know we don't have a decision to make. I have a decision to make, but I have 3 artists who watching me up in my face, waiting for me to tell them how long they have again before they go on stage. I have the person in the back who doing hospitality to figure out what kind of water this artist wants to drink. I have my team who they're saying, Gabby, this artist was only supposed to have 4 people coming in, but they come with 12 people because they now come from our next event and they bring the dancers and they bring the wife and this and they bring our whole entourage and it's like 4 times more than we catered for. So sometimes you are dealing with so many things, and in the midst of all of that, you need to still be able to zone in and make a high pressure decision that sometimes could change the show.
Right.
And you have to be comfortable with that. You have to be very sure of yourself, and you have to stick by. And again, you have to be able to say you are teachable, and you have to acknowledge when you are wrong or whatever. But in the moment, you have to be very confident in your decision.
Call shots.
You have to call our shots and say, this is the best decision based on the circumstance that is taking place. So yeah, I mean, I was
Give me one. Give me a shot you call.
I want to say, okay, I love all artists. Maybe I should just start with that, right? I love
Caveat.
I love
Disclaimer.
everybody. I am somebody that wants to see everybody become and be the best version of themselves. I put things in place to ensure I'm not a setup person. Like, I want to make sure that you have the best performance possible. So I am going to, if you need extra rehearsals with the band, I'm going to make sure that happens. I am going to, you come and you say, Gabby, I think, but my DJ not here. I will go and I will find a DJ who's nearby on site and say, hey, you have this person's songs, whatever. I try to make your experience as best as possible for you, regardless of the circumstance. But there's also a sense of accountability that artists and management have to have for themselves. And being on time is one of them. Yeah, if you are not on time, remember, this is not your show, right? You are also inconveniencing other people. So it's a very selfish thing. So I'm sure this out there for the artists who like to be late and the managers who don't promote that their artists come on time. Because when it's your own show and people don't come, because I mean, we've all done shows for whatever years. If the first 4 artists for the show run late, it pushes back the entire show. It throws off, because remember, we have a license that ends. So if it is time to schedule a show to end at a certain time to stay within the license, and then you come now and you want to play Saga Boy Ting or you want to play Big Boy Ting and you want to come late just because I don't find I should be on early. No. You it's a very selfish reason.
Right. So what you call you pull out your tree canal?
My tree line. No, I have actually there was an instance where an artist came not only 2 hours late for their call time. No, they came 2 hours late for their call time and they missed their performance time. And they still came there with the expectation of going on stage. And to me, that's crazy because how? Right? How? And I think it was also the lack of communication. I'm a very reasonable person. I could be a bit of ass when I'm ready. But it's not my default. I am very understanding. I am very easy to talk to. Simple things like, Gabby, I got a flat tire, whatever. I'll be there in time to perform, but it's letting you know I will be about half an hour late for my call time, right? Cool, no problem. You need any assistance, whatever, you want to send somebody to take, communicate with your stage manager. Don't lie to me. I said, lie to anybody else, but don't lie to me.
No, I got that. So what happened? What? Tell me.
No,
bring the receipts.
I tell
what
him
happened that day?
You can't perform on stage.
And what was the
response? So he got to the venue, made a whole entrance, the real thing. So he comes to me after I've been calling him for the last 2 hours. So me and my team have been calling your manager. There's been no answer. You're walking, real big boy thing. I'm ready to go on stage. I said, which stage so boy? He said, this one. I said, could never be my stage. I said that because the way you handled this was extremely disrespectful. Like, was there some sort of an emergency? Nah, well, I just didn't really want to come down here so early because I know thing and I wanted to perform at a certain point. It's also, you was deciding when you want to come on the stage. So you understand there are other people and other things going on the stage, right? I said, well, here's what. You can hang out backstage and you could chill, but you are not going on stage. Person then went on to try to talk. Well, I mean, you could try your best with me. I don't respond to people speaking loudly to me at all. I don't go from 0 to 100. With me, it's 0 or 100. So I tend to keep very calm all the time. I don't let people get to me.
Yeah.
You can't shout at me. Like, I just feel like the volume is low down in my ears and I don't hear you. Right? And the person started to then send the manager to talk to me and then went to my staff, to my male staff, to be like, talk to Sheena. I know you. Yeah, they went and they told one of my male staff, talk to Sheena. You know, I know you's the real boss here. And whatever. And I say, well, this person just adding insult to injury because you're just making the situation worse. That person must be still waiting to go on stage.
Wow.
They never reach on the stage.
So this brings me to you being a small, young, not likely to be stage manager. What did that bring you in your early career? And people out there would want to become you, but what were some of the hurdles you had to take on being a young woman in this business?
I had to deal with real I wouldn't lie. And I had to bleep out, but yeah, I had to deal with real because of, I guess, my age my age and being female, people, I guess they think I'm younger than I look. And even if they think I look like my age is 34, it's that a lot of time when I'm in the room, I am probably the youngest and maybe the only female in a lot of meetings. And I do hold, I wouldn't say very high positions, but I am very, like, there are
Well
positions
respected.
where I'm respected, and people who know the value of what I have to offer, they put me in decision-making roles. And a lot of times, the people who I have to deal with, who have to listen to me or take instruction from me, are usually older than me and male.
Right.
And it was quite a struggle. But I think there's a certain level of surety and confidence that you have to maintain, and you can't let them get to you. You can't take it. So, okay, like I remember this story very clearly. This was, I wouldn't say where it happened and who it was with, but I went on a site visit and I went to take measurements. And it was like an indoor space. So I just went to measure. I went to measure the distance from the ceiling to the roof so I would know how high the trussing could go up and how high we could rig and different things. And I just told the person who I went to meet, I was just like, hey, here what? I left my measuring tape in the car. Let me just run quick and get it and come back. And there's like, you need like an actual measuring tape and are the ones you're so close with, right?
Ooh.
And I said, and you could leave this in. I said, well, I'm a stage manager, not a fucking seamstress. So yeah, I have the right tools.
Appropriate language for an appropriate situation.
Like at that point, again, I'm a gem. I'm a treasure. I am very, very sweet, right? But in that situation, it showed me that there was no respect.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I came here to do a job. The reason I am here is because I am capable of the job. So how dare you come at me with a statement like that? I mean, I don't know if it was the intention was to be cheeky or but it wasn't funny.
Yeah. No, I honor you for really taking in front, and I see a sense of ownership that you have with the stage. It becomes your territory, and I like that. I like the fact that you protect your boundaries, and this is your space. When you said which stage you're going on, not my stage.
Not my stage.
And that was something that I think people need to have, a sense of ownership, especially being maybe not the person that walks around like the big daddy or the big mama.
I'm the big daddy. I'm the big daddy.
You have to be able to put people in there, to have them think properly.
Yeah, and I think it's not about me like putting anybody in a place or whatever. I am not that kind of person. I just want to ensure that this show is the best possible production everybody has. See, remember, I was a teacher. I genuinely care for and care about growth and development. So my intention is never to beat anybody down, fight them down, keep them in a... My thing is I want you to be better, do better. And I am all about teaching and learning and growing and evolving. So you will never find me in a position where I am talking down to people. But if you come at me...
Yeah.
And I guess for me, when I look at like that situation, I also, the same way how you'd say I take ownership of the stage, I also take ownership of my mistakes. And I think that is something that people have a hard time doing. Because it's not as though I've never made, I wouldn't say it was a bad call, but maybe...
Give me a bad call.
I really can't think of one, you know.
Come on.
I am thinking like something that was big, but
This show stop. Somebody fell because there was something not put in a place. Give me it. Bring the receipts.
I'm trying to think.
Argument. Big blowout. Backstage.
I mean, there are plenty of those, but I that's I will stay away from. Me and those people have healed our relationships, so I'm not going to go down that road. I want to say it like this, and this is not me saying that I don't make mistakes, but it's that I made all the mistakes any times in my career when those mistakes did not majorly affect the show. Okay. I didn't. So there's this view apparently that I came out of nowhere. That I woke up one day and decided, hey, I'm gonna be a stage manager. Hey, I'm gonna open a production company. But no, I put in the work from DCFA, big up DCFA, and working my way up in a lot of theater spaces and stuff. I made the mistakes when I was on stage crew.
Right.
When I was just a helper, when I was just a backstage hand, when I was just helping tote truss and tote piece of wood and plank and paint and backdrop and those things. That's not only when I made the mistakes, that's also when I observed the mistakes of those higher than me.
Right.
And I learned from the mistakes of others. I tell people, listen, you're not bound to make the mistake to learn it, and you could see other people make it.
And learn from it.
So I want to say at this point in my career, there hasn't been any massive mistake. There have been decisions that have been made that people probably wasn't happy with, but ultimately it was what I felt in the moment was the best decision for the show. Right. So I'll say that.
You shared some things with me today on the entertainment economy from your perspective. Things like, it's not about you.
Yeah, because it's not about you. At the end of the day, if you think, especially working in production, that it's about you, you're in the wrong industry. It's never about you.
Good. Pivoting. You talked about pivoting.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be able to move with the punches and be able to change. At certain points, you have to be able to adapt, pivot, and make yourself, and keep yourself relevant. Like, that's important. I mean, I would have also spoken about saying no.
Yes. Another point. Saying no.
Yeah.
You need to be able to do that. Accountability. How do you see...
I mean, you have to hold yourself accountable. Meaning, you have to have confidence in that decision that you are making. You can be held accountable for the actions or the consequences that result from that. So you make a good decision, cool, you might get the praise. You make a bad decision, you have to hold yourself accountable for whatever that turns out to be.
Yeah. Take the shame, take the blame, take the fame.
Take the fame.
Yeah.
Yo.
And you spoke about learning fast.
Right. So with regards to learning fast, it's that you don't always have to wait to make a mistake to learn. You can look at the people around you who are in positions that you want to achieve, or even just that those who you might just have as mentors. Look at the mistakes that they made. You don't have to learn the mistake by making it. You can learn from the mistakes of others.
Good. Yeah. I love it. Love it. And putting in the work. That's another point.
this is not an easy job. It comes with a lot of, it's have highs and lows. Sometimes more lows than highs, to be real honest. But it's all worth it. But you need to be willing to put in that work. Like you have to, it has to mean something to you. And you have to put in the work, because your goal should always be to make this the best production, the best music video, the best live concert, the best workshop, the best theater production. It must always be the best. So you have to be willing to put in the work and just get it done. Yeah.
Excellent. So there are 5 people out there listening to us. What would you tell each of them? And I'll call them, right? There's a high school student who is in 5th form, about to take A-levels or figure out what to do. What would you tell them if they want to be in your space? They're inspired by you.
I would say, do not let anybody make you think that because it's in the arts, it's just a hobby. I have done many other jobs prior to this, and I mean, me rich, but I can't say this is the most fulfilled yet financially beneficial job. Once you put in the work and you see, learn your craft. Once you learn your craft, nobody can take that from you. Once you are great at what you do, you'll always make money. So I'm saying, don't see it as a hobby. If it's something you are passionate about, give it your all. Believe in yourself, because nobody else will believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. So I would say, if you're really passionate about it, do it. Take the jump, do it.
Yeah. Okay, someone now who has entered a career after school, A-levels or whatever, and they've gone into working, and they're realizing that they're not feeling like they want to do this, that they were thrust into, but they want to be in your position. So there's someone coming out of A-levels and working for a while, and there's a person in the earlier part of their career, like you were.
Mm-hmm. No, I want to keep this as realistic as possible. Like, yeah, we have bills. I mean, like, I don't have kids and stuff, so I know that, like, for people, they might have different responsibilities. So yeah, having a 8 to 4 and a salary is something that is important. But I'll say it like this: I do have responsibilities, but I had to give myself a target where I had to say, hey, Gabby, you are not happy in this job any longer. You really want to go into production and into stage on a full-time basis. If you can make your annual salary in this carnival time frame, you're going to leave your job. And that's what I did.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm saying, set realistic goals, and then you don't be afraid to pivot. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A mature person, they don't feel fulfilled. They are a public servant. They are school teacher in their careers. Do you see an opportunity for them? And if so, in any area that you see?
I mean, absolutely. You see, our industry is made up of so many different roles. So, there's stage manager, there's production manager, there's event coordinator. You can get into videography. You can get into artist liaison. You can get into artist hospitality. You can get into vendor management, logistics. There are so many things, and there are so many transferable skills. And that's the beauty of our industry, is that there are so many transferable skills from other jobs. Like with me as an auditor, and my ability to assess and do gap analysis, risk assessment, doing proper documentation, developing policy and procedure. I would have taken and honed those skills into. So any job that you have, you're learning something. You can take those tasks and those skills, and it's just for to explore the industry and see where you may fit. And who knows, it might be that you may fit, or it might be that you may be experiencing something brand new. You might be a public servant who has never picked up a camera in their life, but then you realize you have the eye for it.
Right.
And then you get into media. So it's that there is a space for everybody in this industry. Yeah. Always.
Okay. Good. I have 2 other people, but I hope we have time. What would you tell a parent of someone who wants to make this leap what would you tell them about their daughter who comes home or their son who comes home and says, Mom, I want to be an event person? This has not been a dedicated path. It's been an evolved path. Where do you see, what do you want to tell that parent?
That they need to support them. You see, we no longer have these traditional understandings and views of careers. Not everybody gonna be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, right? It's very saturated fields. A lot of things are saturated, and right now there is an emerging creative space. There's a growing orange economy, and there's room for that. So parents need to encourage. Now, I get that parents, from a realistic perspective, they wanna tell the kids, no, you have to have a good work so you could buy a house and buy a car, and the goalposts keep shifting in terms of what we deem as success. And I think as parents, it's for you to support your child in something that they are passionate about, that is constructive. And that's exactly what this is. This is a very constructive industry.
Right. So we talked about money, about finance, about, making money. And you're making money, right? You said so.
Yeah.
Yeah, making some good money.
I mean, look at the size of me. I eating good.
Well, now I want you to speak to the banks, because the banks are sometimes not that kind to event people. What have you seen, and what can you tell the head of a bank, the person who makes policy, who would make the decisions on loans or on investments in companies and stuff like that? What would you want to tell them about you? And you can relate it to your path, your goal.
I want to say that there's a
Speaking to the banker,
there's a duality. So with regards to, as a banker, I mean, they are, of course, you're looking at risk assessment. So you're not going to take a risk on anybody to say, hey, well, I have a paintbrush and I have some canvas here, so as an artist, I want a loan for $2 million to buy a house. Not wise. So I want to say it's twofold, that the banks do have to make programs or make certain things easier for creatives or for entrepreneurs to access. Because I admire certain things about like sometimes the ministries or even governments of other islands might have certain like artist grants in place. So if you want to bring in equipment, you don't have to pay customs, or they subsidize certain things for you. If it is you are building a studio space, they actually help subsidize some of the cost of the materials. Like it's toward building the creative industries. But on the other side, the onus, that's why I say it's a duality, the onus is also on us, the artists, the creatives, to send out invoices, get receipts,
keep their accounts.
Keep your accounts in order.
Pay your taxes.
Do these things so that you could meet them where they are and vice versa. Because they have their metrics and their targets to meet, and you have a life that you want to live. So in order for us to get to that middle ground, you have to do your part, and they have to do their part.
Let's get granular. There's something that you want now to advance your career or to advance your... Is there something that you would need to, because a financial institution may not see it, be it an insurance company or a bank, because I'm looking at, we're in the entertainment economy. We're a part of the bigger economy, and to be inclusive, we need to have access to all of the things. But I find people in the entertainment industry, they can't have insurance, may not have, even insuring events might be a problem, not many people offer it. Financial services, not many people are willing to, even restaurants or anything in that whole entertainment economy is not, it's usually bootstrapped. Have you seen things, or do you have things in your space that you would like to go after but may have...
I would say it's not so much that there's red tape, it's just more hoops than the average person with an 8 to 4 has to jump through. Sometimes it could be a little disheartening. So it's not that it's not possible. Sometimes you just kind of lose the motivation, like I really want to buy a company vehicle. I want to get a company vehicle and whatever. You tend to have to go through more hoops than somebody who could say, look, as a teacher, I bring a job letter from the ministry, and I work in ministry 14 years now, and as a teacher and whatever. Cool, no scene. It kind of, And let me tell you what's the
That's great.
hurtful part about it. You know, we have all this reverence and stuff for doctors and for lawyers and for engineers and for people who have these jobs, right? And don't get me wrong, like let's look at a doctor, for example. A doctor takes care of your body. You know, you're feeling good, you have a headache, you're saying you whatever, you go by a doctor, you feel better. But when you have a long day as a doctor and you come home from work, what you do? You just watch a movie, you listen to music. So a doctor might take care of your body, but we take care of your soul. And I think people tend to ignore that, or they dismiss the role that we play, not just in the financial, in the economy when it comes to that, but in the human experience. And that you all have to take care of us because we take care of you, and in ways that you don't even know. If there was no music, if there was no art, if there was no movies, if there were no music videos, your life would be so plain.
No restaurants.
There were no restaurants. If there was, your life will be so plain. So I would say the same way how we want the banks to think, we also have our part to play, but it needs the value that we offer in the economy and in the scope of just life. I think more attention and more value has to be placed on what we do.
Yeah. So a value proposition has to be made for the entertainment economy that is legitimate, and people in it has to see themselves that way, and we have to respect them that way. And I think I want this to go out to everyone, because you in this stage of your career would have a need for a lot of financial services if you need to grow. You're off to Grenada next week?
Yeah, on Monday actually. So my best friend, Casey Phillips, that's the owner of Precision Productions, we design curriculum for the creative industries for the islands, and we'll hopefully for Trinidad as well.
You have done other islands and not Trinidad.
Well, yeah, because you see, I would say like the governments are looking at the service and the value that we offer
From Trinidad.
And they want us. They want to be just as good as or better than us. So they are bringing us up to teach these workshops to help upskill and reskill.
How many people?
There.
5 of you all?
The team that's going on Monday, it's going to be myself and 5. So it's who I will consider some of the leading people in the industry. So it's myself doing stage and production. It's Kyle Peters doing professional musicianship. It's Brennan Virgil and Karen Patrick doing audio engineering for front of house and stage, and Darren Ford and Sheldon Stephen from Lullabies doing stage design, build, lighting and screens. So it's that they are bringing up this team to help execute this workshop.
In another island.
And we've done it in Grenada. We've done a music producers masterclass with Casey in Grenada and Antigua last year. And I mean, we've all seen what the outcome of the Grenada music was for Carnival this year. Like, it was amazing.
Right.
We didn't change the song, we just refined it.
Right.
We made it more exportable. And so they are actually seeing the difference. You're hearing the difference. Just even from a metrics level, you could see it, you can hear it. So, these islands are noticing that, I mean,
we
are the Mecca.
Yeah. And again, sometimes we don't even realize how good we are. And, it's an effect that sometimes you have to be big abroad to be big in your own yard.
It's a prophet never honored in his homeland, but we are providing the service and it's here.
Yeah. Foreign exchange too, eh? I mean, let's consider that there's a foreign exchange situation going on there. You're paid in either EC or US dollars. And it's something that I think we need to look at as our skills are being exported. Just like our oil revenue and our oil workers, our technicians are going to Oman and different parts in the Gulf, and earning foreign exchange for Trinidad and Tobago. I think we have to look at it that way too. Entertainment is our...
Yeah. We are the core. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel as if...
I don't know.
I feel as if I'm speaking to a sister in... Yeah, I feel like I feel family.
Like a younger sister or like a...
Let's not get age into this, okay? Because I'm old like the hills behind Digger Martin. So, but yeah. I I want to thank you. I want to thank you sincerely because you brought yourself to the game. You made this your turf and you owned it. I really do appreciate that sense of ownership, that sense of sharing, and that sense of peeling off a few of the pieces of your onion skin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
So thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it being here.
Great.
Yeah.
Gabby, the entertainment economy, it's yours.